everybody, this is Erico and I am back again, of course, on your computer screens, your phone screens, tablet screens, whatever screen you may be looking at me through. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Why? Of course, because you're watching this video. Subscribe if you want to see me rant about different topics pertaining to East Asian pop culture as well as other current events. So we got Hype Entertainment. This pronunciation, I don't know why I like saying this record label's name like this, but Hype Entertainment is still being accused of not treating their artists right, their moneymaker, they're the people that have legitimized this company. First we had TXT, where they didn't have any security and the people were mobbing them, and now recently we've had the same incident in Japan's airport with J-Hope. And this is the icing on the cake, because J-Hope was running around, he was scurrying around, like he really was ducking down, like he was running from an attack airplane in the airport because he didn't want nobody to see him, and someone stole his luggage. And I actually really wonder, like, did the people who stole his luggage, did they put it on eBay and sell it for a sizable amount of money? I mean, they wouldn't need proof that that's actually J-Hope stuff, but they awful people. Whoever stole his stuff, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. They need to be put in a foster home. It was just shocking to a lot of people because he had no security and he was running around frantically by himself, and I was like, he actually got away. Like, the armies didn't bum rush him somehow. But you know that there's also such an other dilemma with their solos and the BTS going on a hiatus, and they're coming out with these solo tracks, and I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of them I'm not really too interested in. I've been like on and off with BTS. I was a fan from the very beginning, but now BTS is very much like super mainstream, crossover, foreign invasion, American pop, Korean pop, agent, sneaking under the cover at night, not trying to go to the military, but now they're going. This was a big thing. I actually had a talk with my Korean teacher about, whether they should go to the military or not. I feel like they should go. I mean, they didn't win the Grammy. They did bring a whole lot of money to South Korea. They did earn a lot of people's respect, even if a lot of people, behind closed doors really don't care for them like that. But the prestige of them, it's just, because they've gotten so many number ones on the American Billboard charts, and so many people now just love them, because it's like saying Korea is dominating because they are Korean. But it doesn't mean that there are a lot of Korean people that really like them as far as their music is concerned. And this is something that's always concerned me, and even with their solos coming out. And J-Hope's first album, Jack in the Box, and man, Jack was looking for the box, because the way that they packaged this CD had many armies outraged. Not only that, he did no promotion for this album outside of Korea. There wasn't any TV shows, there was no performance or nothing. And then we got Jin on the side, who came afterwards, talking about being an astronaut. And he made a lot of the army's astronauts because he really has this fan base paying the total amount of an album for a single. I saw that price and I was flipping around on the back. I was like, there's more tracks, right? I'm like, okay, I see astronaut, I don't see no other tracks. So basically, you're paying the full price for a photo book. And their fans are like, oh, it's a glorious album. No, baby girl. That's not an album. That's called a money grab. I hope it's some nice pictures, though. I would not be buying that. But J-Hope, y'all didn't even get that. The people that are fans of him got, wait for it, a paper, was it cardboard? In some plastic? Now they did better than that for the mixtape. The mixtape not even an official album. I'd rather them have done that for the mixtape. I can see why armies are mad about that. They've lost their everlasting mind. I was in the store and they had a sign and people were asking to buy the album and they had the sign of like, we have the album. It's just behind the counter. I was at the time I was like, oh, like, is it selling out? Or people like grabbing it and dashing out without paying for the album? Come to find out, it's because it's literally like a piece of paper. And they probably had it in the desk and people were asking for it. Can you imagine you're excited to go and get this album and you go in the store and the person's like, oh, we got it behind the counter. You're thinking it's like a regular K-pop album with all the goodies in it and the poster and the postcards and the photo book, and they pull out like a piece of paper. I would be like, hell no. No. Earth just cracked open. I would be highly upset. And then they probably still charge you that $30, $40 for that. And then it wasn't really even available in the US. It was available mostly for Korean people. And we can also get into like why J-Hope might have got the table scraps out of everyone else, because right now we see RM. RM is like actually promoting Sit Down with Pharrell. Did you see the track list and all of the American artists that are featuring on this album as well? And then meanwhile we had J-Hope, who, his music to me, while it was innovative, I loved more. And there were some tracks on the album, even though I'm not like a big fan of his, I felt like the talent was there and he's a decent enough rapper. I do think that if he wasn't in BTS though when he had released his album and he had no affiliation with this mega popular group, I don't think that people would have cared as much about the music. I think it was mostly the prestige which helped him. And then we have to think too, like, there are guys in BTS that were supposed to be solo acts. And they do this a lot with Korea, and they put them all into a group and see if it works, and it does work out. J-Hope has always had his own vision with his music, and it hasn't always been the direction that BTS has gone musically. So I do understand this was like his outlet to get out what he wanted, but then also looking at the promotion too, it's very much not BTS at all. It's very much something that is more of an indie sound, and I just don't think that the president of Hype felt that it was something that was mainstream appealing outside of him being a part of BTS. So they're like, we're not going to waste any money promoting this. Even though they were wrong, I do see from a business standpoint why they probably didn't do it. They did have a actual release for Jin. You know, Jin is going off to the army now, and people are screaming and crying. His shaved head looks okay. He's still a handsome guy. But he got more than what J-Hope got. And now on top of this, we have him running around unprotected in public places. That's not good. No idol should be running around unprotected. If I'm going to be an idol and I got to go someplace and I know I'm well known and I might get bum rushed, I love you fans, but I would be pitching a fit. I'll be like, y'all better get some security out here. I love my fans, but this is not the day for me to be getting bum rushed by anybody. I'm trying to get home. I want my luggage. Get it together. I would be on the phone. I would be shouting and everything. Like, they would have seen me. I would have been so entitled in this moment. It's like, I'm tired. I've made money for you all to have that big building. I've made money for you all to sign all these other artists and do whatever you all have to do. Get me my protection and my luggage. If you can't do that, then you know I'm going to sit behind here, hidden in the airport until you find some bodyguards for me. Simple as that. I do also think that he should afford a little bit more for like a little bit more better presentation of his debut album, because that didn't make no sense. Like what I saw, no. And then we have RM's album that is an actual album. It looks kind of plain from what I can see, but I actually will be purchasing this album because I actually am a fan of RM. From the snippets of music I've heard, I watched the Tiny Desk concert. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the features that he has. J-Hope should have gotten the same treatment. And there was no reason why. I do feel like that Jin could have put out a whole mini album before he went to the army. Him just putting out one song and them just saying like, okay. Now behind the scenes, maybe Hype would just put out one song because we're not gonna spend any more money. You know, we got Team for Japan that we're working on. We got these other groups over here that we're working on. It seems that they're trying to push TXT into the American market. I saw them at that award show sitting up there like they belong there. And, you know, they're like, okay, we're gonna replace BTS. I see everything that this company is trying to do. And it is fine. But make sure that your artists are still being represented in a good light. And that fans don't feel like that they're being gypped. Because if I was a fan of J-Hope and that's what I got, I wouldn't be very happy. Number one, I wouldn't have bought that album. Like, that just would have been a digital release for me. I wouldn't have physically bought that album. I would have been like, no, I would have said, no, you can keep that. Keep it, return to sender, I don't want it, return to Korea. I will not be buying that. So I'm excited to see, you know, what RM gives us. They all need to go to the army at this point. And I'm not even saying that to be mean. Respect your country, you guys. I know there's like a debate about, you know, they have to go, they've done so much. People who aren't Korean, who are jumping into this, they should go. You know, like, I'm not even Korean. I'm like, they just let them go. Everybody else who's famous is gone. Let them get it over with so they can come back better than ever. I'm excited to see how this shapes their music. I'm excited to hear RM's full album. This is a long time coming. I feel like that this album should have been out way before now. So you guys, this is a lot to think about. How do you feel about all this? How do you feel about BTS? How do you feel about the solos? Did you like J-Hope's Jack in the Box album? What is your favorite song? I really like More. There's some other tracks I liked on there too. Are you excited for RM's album? I know I am. I will be purchasing that. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also for belong in East Asian pop culture, the link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. See you in the next video.